Aren't you tired from carrying that, Tanjiro? You shot him a sympathetic look. He had been hauling that heavy basket of coal for miles. Even your feet were starting to get sore, and you had nothing on your back but a tiny satchel of snacks. Not really, he smiled pleasantly back at you. My dad taught me breathing techniques to help me not get tired. Besides, I'm the eldest son, so I have to be strong. Whoa, can you teach me what he taught you? I would, but I'm not sure if it's a family secret or not. I'll ask him and let you know, okay? Doesn't really help me right now, you mumbled with a pout, and he chuckled. If you're tired from the walk, I can carry you back. After we drop this off first, that is. No way, you gawked in disbelief. You're working hard to support your family. I wouldn't burden you by asking such a thing. You're so thoughtful, Traveler-chan. As the gentle breeze flourished, his black hair trickled into auburn in the warm, dulling sunlight, highlighting the smile on his round face. Psh, no, it's just common courtesy. You turned your nose up and away, trying to suppress the blush that always seemed to surface from Tanjiro's compliments. He seemed particularly doting today, probably because he was grateful to have your company. A tragic demon attack had befallen the nearest village, causing many of its residents to scatter from fear. This hindered the Kamado livelihood, resulting in Tanjiro having to travel greater distances to sell his family's wares. One would never know it, though, as the optimistic boy by your side probably never uttered a complaint in his life. He even went so far as to say he was happy about the chance to build up his stamina and spend more time with you. In spite of this, you could still tell he felt bad for not being helpful around the house as much. His little brother was hardly strong enough to chop wood, and the chill would be coming in soon. Even now the wind had a nip to it. Do you smell something? Tanjiro's voice turned serious and you sniffed the air. I do, actually. You were shocked. Usually Tanjiro was able to smell things long before you could, assuming you could pick up on them at all. It smells like a fire! Someone might need help! He grabbed your wrist and took off running. Come on, Traveler! The two of you strayed from the path, dodging creeks and weaving through trees at top speed. The ashen scent on the wind seemed to thicken, and tufts of black smoke stung your eyes and clouded your vision. Bells? Why are there bells in a fire? You wondered, trying to duck below the blackened turidity as you ran. At last the two of you broke through the tree line and looked around. Tanjiro looked disoriented. Never before had he followed a scent so strong and not found the source. Where is it? Maybe the wind blew it in a weird direction? He approached the edge of the woods once more, noting a strange repetitive thrumming. It seemed to be getting louder before. The two of you gasped in unison when a large black creature came flying into the open. Midnight smoke appeared to be rising from its head, wisps of phantasmal hair, swirling and dissipating on the dusk air. What is that? It can breathe fire, just like my dad. What? Forget I said that. Tanjiro bit his lip, realizing that he let the family technique slip. But wow, I've never seen an animal move so fast. Is it a dragon? Traveler, it must be the guardian spirit of the land! He beamed at you in awe when the realization struck him. Really? I've never seen one before. Your jaw dropped before he took you by the hand again and opted for a more comfortable jogging pace. It's going in the direction we're heading. Maybe we'll catch up with it. This dream of his seemed unlikely, as the speed and magnitude of this creature were incomparable to either of your own. A few paces more and it would be over the horizon entirely, leaving only a sooty black cloud in its wake. Look, it's slowing down! Over the rise rested a metropolitan area full of people. They all appeared to be standing on a platform as the great beast approached, as if awaiting its arrival. Let's see if we can get a closer look. Tanjiro plopped the coal basket onto the platform above and jumped before extending a hand to pull you up as well. It was a sight like neither of you two had ever seen. The entity's abdomen seemed to stretch on forever, and with each section looked like rooms, and these rooms were filled with people? It looks like some kind of Carrier guardian, your companion postulated your thoughts into words. Eh? Oh, I see. It protects people while they travel. Wow! At last the two of you had made it to the head of the animal. It didn't have what looked like a face, but had a distinct shine, its outer visage hard as stone. It's faster than any raven I've seen, and noisy too, like black thunder. Careful, traveler, Tanjiro cautioned. It might get offended if you call it by the wrong name. Oh, right. A hiss and a hot flash of steam released from the spirit, and that was all you needed to bolt in fear. Oh gosh, do you think we made it angry? Tanjiro was gripping onto your arms as you both trembled and caught your breath, hidden safely behind a wooden corridor. I sure hope not, Tanjiro replied through chattering teeth before peeking his head out to scope the perimeter. It was then he noticed a man in red uniform hopping off the front of the large canister-like animal. Ah, I have an idea. Let's ask him. Hey, mister! You ran up and tugged at the velvety red plush of his jacket before bowing politely. What can I do for you kids? Could you tell us what this giant spirit creature is called? We think we may have upset it by calling it the wrong name. The man made a face at you. What, this? He pointed behind him. It's called a train. The Guardian's name is Train! Tanjiro exclaimed with excitement, then beamed up at the man with sparkling eyes. You are the one riding on its head, right? That must make you the speaker for the Guardian. That's amazing! What a great honor! Your companion bowed low enough for a few pieces of coal to tumble out, and you quickly followed suit. The man's confusion melted into a warm smile. Well, I don't know about all that, but it's an honest day's work. He tipped his hat and the both of you giggled with delight. So can only people from a certain bloodline ride it? Tanjiro theorized. Or is there some kind of offering that must be done? Oh, you just need a tick. Hey, I need you on deck. Another man in a slightly different uniform. This one had stripes. Caught the attention of the Guardian speaker. A gear needs oiled on cart 4 before the next departure. All right, I'm on it. The man cast you both one more glance and ran off. Oh, he didn't answer our question. It's gotta be a busy job, being so important and all. Besides, it doesn't hurt to try. Let's brainstorm tonight and come back tomorrow. After finding a spot to stay for the night, it was easy considering no sane adult would dare send children out while demons prowl, Tanjiro met with the patron in the morning to purchase his coal. As you made your way back towards the Guardian's house, the two of you bounced ideas off each other. Say, Tanjiro, even if we give these offerings, how will we know if we've made the Guardian like us? He touched a finger to his lips. Well, I noticed yesterday that it whistles twice before it leaves. So maybe that means it'll let us ride on its back when we hear it. That makes sense. Or maybe the speaker will tell us. He smiled exuberantly at you as you rounded a corner, and Tanjiro yanked you out of the way just before a long plank of wood collided with your head. Oop, sorry, watch your step there, a large burly man said before tossing the wood into a wagon like it weighed no more than a splinter. You okay? Warm burgundy eyes drank in your appearance with concern. You nodded, gaze following the man. What are they doing? A short distance away you saw men laying down those planks in a line. Others were swinging a massive sledgehammer onto metal spikes. Oh, I see! Tanjiro clutched his fists in an epiphany. That's how the villagers must serve the spirit! They build new roads for it to travel on! That must be the only way it can move! He held up a finger. And in exchange, the Guardian takes them places. Fascinating. Your face suddenly sank. I don't think I'm strong enough to do what they're doing, though. It's okay. I'm sure I saw kids younger than us back there, so that can't be the only way. At last you both reached your checkpoint, and Train was just as large and glorious looking as it was the day prior. It seemed to be sitting at rest, perhaps sleeping between departures. Tanjiro found a little place in the flat field opposite the elevated platform and sat his stuff down. On the way you passed the man from yesterday and made sure to bow and wave. The dark-haired boy was too fixated on his task to take notice. Okay, so first we need some salt to purify the area. Check. You handed him the small pouch and sat cross-legged in the dry grass, anxious to witness his performance. He spread the stuff lightly in a large circle around him. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath, preparing himself for the ritual. And then, just as the orange from the lowering sun kissed the sky, Tanjiro began to dance his father's kagura. It almost reminded you of Bon Odori, an honor to the ancestors, those who've passed on. But there was something more intense about it, the fast and deliberate way he made his turns. There was an element of fire and heat in his aura, obviously a means to appease the smoke breather behind you. You had always been fond of the boy, but right now you were in awe of him. You could feel the weight of meaning behind each movement, the amount of time he must have practiced this. It was evident in the delicate, calculated way he twirled his wrists, the elegant procedure of his footwork. It was nothing short of exquisite, and you found yourself unable to tear your eyes away from him. You weren't sure how long this hypnotic display went on, but you were snapped out of it when Tanjiro stumbled forward and flopped next to you. "Bah, he panted in exhaustion. It didn't work." You pursed your lips in confusion. He was right. The guardian hadn't uttered so much as a whistle. It was baffling in your opinion. That display of immense concentration certainly would have pleased you if you were a magical spirit. "I'm sorry, Tanjiro. I can't imagine why." You placed a comforting hand atop his head and the winded boy looked up at you. "I think maybe we should try dancing together this time." He sat up with a newfound energy and held out his hand to you. "I can't dance as good as you, though." "Come on," he encouraged. There was no logic behind it, but somehow his persuasion overpowered your doubt. Or maybe it was just that perfect smile that always made you feel at ease. He pulled you into his arms and you began to dance. It was much looser in nature, equally playful as it was comfortable. There was no consistent rhythm you stuck to, just a genial flow in each other's aura. After a moment he pulled you for a twirl and oomph! You expected to be pulled back up by Tanjiro's strong arms, but instead he toppled right on top of you. "Are you okay?" he demanded instantly, but all you could do was laugh. The worry in his brows softened. "I didn't mean to drop you, I'm sorry. My legs are like jelly after that. I obviously need to practice more." "But your dance was beautiful, Tanjiro." He felt your hands caress his cheek, and now Tanjiro was grateful for the cool evening breeze helping ease the warmth blooming on his face. From a short distance away, the man in red caught sight of the two familiar, giggling, blushing children and reached up to pull the cord with a smile. "Ah!" Tanjiro's face lit up and he sat upright. "I think we made it happy!" "Hey!" the speaker's voice called out. "Are the two of you getting on or not?" Can we? "Sure, hop on the back." Both you and Tanjiro erupted into delighted giggles as you ran towards the tail of the creature and climbed aboard. "We did it, traveler! This is so exciting!" The creature jolted forward and gained speed at an alarming pace. "It's going so fast, Tanjiro!" He could hear the nervous waver in your tone and reached out. "Hold on to me." He locked one arm around a metal bar while the other secured itself firmly around your waist. After a while, you both adjusted to the speed and opted for sitting down against the car holding passengers. The sun had set now, tinting the air blue, and it was now you noticed Tanjiro by your side with his eyes closed and his hands folded in a prayer-like fashion. You felt it might be rude to interrupt him, and just allowed yourself to enjoy the wind blowing through your hair, watching trees and houses disappear in the distance. The guardian's call made you smile. You just couldn't help it. Mwah! A sudden kiss on your cheek startled you to pieces. What was that? Your face burned hot from embarrassment. Tanjiro was blushing too. "I asked the guardian train if it was a good idea, and didn't you hear? He said yes." "So that's what that was," you mumbled in realization. Tanjiro's composure quivered at your flustered appearance and he started to backtrack. I probably should have asked you first, but..." Mwah. You cut him off with a super-fast kiss to his lips, and he stopped talking. In that split second, he was sure he didn't know what words were. It was silent for a moment, before Tanjiro beamed his signature bright smile at you. "What?" "I guess Train is the guardian of hearts, too."